I want to seriously congratulate you for making it so far. Man, I saw so many people promising themselves in the beginning of this bootcamp that they'll make it for the next 30 days and that they're promising themselves they will work hard. And that's just the circle of life, I guess, man. So many people, they commit to certain things and they just never get it. And then they say, no, they're struggling in life, but they cannot put their finger on the reason why they're struggling. Now, I'm no hypocrite here. I'm not trying to criticize somebody, but I'm just saying, man, if you cannot fulfill a promise that you made to yourself, what are you busy doing, man? If you cannot even just fulfill a promise that you made to yourself, how do you want to go around making promises to other people or just change your current situation? That's just what I'm thinking, man. And once again, I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but these talks need to be had, you know? And it's these type of talks that I had myself, with myself, when I started trading, because there were nights when I wanted to give up. And it's easier said than done. I mean, of course, not a lot of people can afford funded accounts. Maybe you cannot afford a course. Maybe you are just barely staying afloat right now. I don't really care. I have empathy, but I don't really care what your situation is right now. All I need you right now to do is take a breath, take a step back, and just listen to my voice and educate yourself. I'm not asking you for anything, okay? I'm trying to help you here. Educate yourself, and I always say this because when that train stops at your station and you're not ready to jump on, brother, the train's gonna leave without you. So make sure that you're educated for when your time comes and when your season in life comes, you're ready to attack it head on. And I'm busy doing a course on this, and this applies to a lot of areas in life. Once again, folks, I'm no Dr. Phil. I just love to share my thoughts with you. But I'm busy doing a course called Know Your Enemy. Know your enemy, understand your enemy. And this is a spiritual course, but I'm busy applying it to a lot of phases in my life or a lot of seasons in my life. And I truly believe everyone goes through different seasons. And I really think that you need to hear this today. Now, I'm the last person that will Bible bash anybody or just religion bash anybody. So I'm going to practically apply this to life and to trading, because this is a trading channel after all. The term know your enemy it can seem as a vast term, especially in trading, because you're probably sitting there saying, yo, MC, dude, I just want to make money. I don't care about all this. And all of these talks before the videos, it's those talks that makes a professional disciplined trader, that where you can distinguish between a professional disciplined trader to someone who just wants to load a bunch of stochastics on his chart and think he's going to be a millionaire at the end of this year. Don't get me wrong, folks. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I'm so tired of telling you all the possibilities that trading has. I mean, you see it every single day. The testimonies is being flooded to my socials. I cannot post everything. I will literally be posting 24/7. I mean, it's kind of getting to that point where the time to get off the bridge has come. So the possibilities are endless. I'm not going to talk about the possibilities anymore. It's out there. You just need to open your eyes and look at it. But before you do that, you need to ask yourself, who is the enemy right now in your trading journey and in life? Is there something bigger going on, or are you just maybe overthinking it? But like in war, if you're a trained soldier, or in any war, mental war, whatever the war, but let's talk about a trained soldier. You cannot go and attack the enemy if you don't know the enemy, if you don't know how the enemy works. The enemy hates you. Like, everybody told you that you will fail. You maybe have friends that will laugh at you for posting content or saying that you're starting to trade. Do it anyway, okay? I'm going to leave you with a quote, let them. That's a quote for the week. Let them. Let them do it, bro. Who cares, okay? It's your life, it's not their life. They will laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh until you make it. Who's going to be the one laughing then? You know? And this is a big cliche saying these things, but it's so true. I've seen it time and time again. It's not just your fancy Instagram quotes. It's real shit. This thing that I'm talking about is real. So You cannot attack an enemy if you don't know what it is, and that enemy can be self-doubt, it can be depression, it can be illness, but you need to understand how it works, okay? And that's why I'm not saying exits is the enemy, but let's practically apply this to trading. I'm not saying exiting the market, because our previous video was exits. I'm not saying exiting the market is your enemy, but you need to understand that the market is not always going to stand in your favor. So let's call that your enemy. So you need to understand that and know where to get out. And a lot of you think that the broker is your enemy and the broker is hunting for your liquidity and stuff. And I've seen so many YouTube videos of people just trying to act so smart with their liquidity grabs and stuff. Bro, let's just cut this conversation right there. You're trading CFDs, my man. CFDs is not the real product. You're not trading the real product. Your liquidity cannot be seen. So I don't even know what to say on that topic anymore. But at the end of the day, I firmly believe that the enemy, in most of us, the enemy is in our minds. Okay, it's us. Now, practically applying it to trading, the enemy is not your broker. As cliche as it might sound, the enemy is you. Listen, you can jump from broker to broker if you want. You can get another broker. The broker is always going to be there. That's a variable dynamic. Always going to be there, but it's always going to be changed. You can change it. But you cannot change your outcome of your trades if you don't change this. Okay, if you don't change your mind, you need to start thinking differently. I mean, come on, guys. I can see the emails, I can see the requests, I can see the messages, and I love it. But you guys need to start thinking differently with regards to the possibilities of trading. And like with our green day, red day setup. Yo, MC, how many days can we get a green day? You get a green day setup until you don't get one anymore. You know, you guys I understand that you guys want over confirmation, but you're stuck so much in the process that you forget to win. And that, I hope that hits deep, because you want to fall in love with the process of learning and learning and learning. And I'm an avid believer of falling in love with the process. But sometimes you gotta grab those trophies, my man. You gotta, like, the process is there, but you gotta grab the trophies too. You need to start winning. You need to stop saying, yeah, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna learn. Okay, you're at that phase now. You're busy learning, and well done to you. Okay, you're putting the time aside, you're learning. But it's now your season to win. So are you gonna get on that train or not? With that being said, in today's video, I really love to talk about my favorite setup, because I've been getting the question a lot. It's fairly simple, but let's jump onto the charts and let's have a look. So my favorite setup pretty much is taking a trade at the extreme of the chart. So I always want to grab it at the lowest point or at the highest point. Now, don't get confused. This is not the same as me trying to catch reversals. I'm not a reversal trader. Why? Because I see 95% of traders, they're trying to catch the tops and bottoms. 95% of traders, they lose. I want the market to confirm, and then I get in. I put my ego aside a long time ago. I just want to get paid and go and do my business, you know. So the first scenario I want to talk about is if you have a red setup day and the market did not hit an extreme. Of course, the question is going to come up like, MC, I don't know where to enter. And that's the thing I want to leave you with is, we already talked about entries. You got the outside of the house, you now need the inside. But let's have a look at this scenario right here. We had a green day, another green day, and then another green day, and then after that we had our red setup day. So that's our day one setup day. I'm not taking a trade on my day one because I still needed to close, and then I can see that as my confirmation, and I can take an entry off from that. But then it brings me to the fact that, okay, MC, I know now that the market is going to go down. I watched your YouTube videos on entries, but I'm still unsure. And this is a scenario which is not perfect, and I thought it would be a good fit to start off with this, so that you guys can see that the market is perfectly imperfect, and you got to learn how to deal with the certain market conditions. But you need to have your setup, stick to your setup. I heard a very, very good coach say one time, he said, I asked him how does he have such a good team, and he said, you know what, I let each and every player decide or find what they're good at, and I let them do their roles that they're good at. That's what forms a team. You don't want When you're playing in a team or something, or when you're doing a sport or whatever it is, you don't want different parts, different moving parts doing things that they're not strong at. So what I'm basically trying to say is you need to find what you're good at, aka your best setup, what you like, and you stick to it. Stop trying to, I go so far as seeing that I sell more than I buy. With data, I can see I sell more than my biggest trades was with sells. Buys is also good, but buys take longer. And then I know. So I know with gold, I'm a big seller. With Euro USD, I'm a big buyer. I know these things because I backtracked my data. And I'm not saying you need to do that. It's obviously going to be super beneficial to you. But you need to find a pattern that works for you, that you like, and then just continuously make money off from that. So we have our day 2, red setup day. And of course, the best entry would have been here. For me, in my opinion. I absolutely love if the market comes up to the high. Why is that? Because I see that as an extreme. The market cannot go any further. If it goes further, it broke the structure and is going to revert bullish. So for me, in my mind, I really love the absolute extremes, but it's not always going to happen. And it's not to say that you should not then just trade. If you want to just wait for those extremes, there's nothing wrong with it. I get seasons in my life where I say, okay, I'm super busy right now. I'm only going to take the super high quality trades. But as of this day, the 24th of July, there was a trade. But then we got a trade off from the London high, which is also okay because we got an exhaustion area. The market was below equilibrium. So you need to find your negotiables and non-negotiables. And we already spoke about that, but negotiables and non-negotiables, ladies, if you're searching for your future husband, you need to get a checklist. Okay, you like a guy that goes to church, he must work out, he must not swear, he must be a legitimate guy. That's your checklist, and that's non-negotiables. But if he's got one tattoo, that's okay. That's a negotiable. You guys can talk about that, Not that tattoos are bad. I think there's sick people with sick tattoos out there. I'm just using an example. So at the end of the day, you need to find negotiables and non-negotiables, aka okay, the market is not at an extreme. That's a negotiable for me. That's okay. I hope you guys can see I'm trying to turn you into a systematic trader. I'm not trying to turn you into a by-the-way trader. And you guys will see over time and time again, the MadCharts traders, you guys are going to absolutely dominate the markets. It's only a matter of time. Trust me when I say this. Systems win. That's why the algorithms in the market is consisting of more than 85% in the markets, because they follow systems, they follow numbers, they follow data sets. And that's exactly what we're doing, but we're adding an emotional touch with it, so that's even better. In this particular setup, we had a London test high with a bearish engulfing, yada yada. We can look at all those things with regards to the entry time frame, or the entry video. But I want to talk about this. We did not get a test of an exhaustion mid-Asia session, or we did not get a test of the exhaustion area at the top of the Asia session. And that is okay, okay? You're in a risk factor regardless. If you're opening your screen and you're looking to take a trade, everything is going to be a risk. You need to look at the probabilities for that risk. So I understood that the volume was high because we're coming off from a 3-day rise with a massive impulse during NY session. We had accumulation and then a little bit of manipulation, but we broke lower, and then I was anticipating the distribution. Now this was an overnight trade during Asia session, but regardless, folks, this was something that you need to decide, is it going to be worth it to take the shot? And of course, there's a lot of different confirmations that we can use that really boosts our confidence, but I just wanted to talk about my favorite setup with regards to red setup day, green setup day. So here it is, my absolute favorite setup that I live and I die by with regards to red setup day, green setup day, false break reversal is a false break reversal pattern that's confirmed, that works out on a day 1. And then on a day 2, during NY session, the first hour of NY session, you go and test the high of Asia session, or the high of the day, or the high of the previous day, but preferably the high of the day. Get a bearish engulfing on the 5-minute, break of stock, 15-minute, my bad, then a breakoff structure on the 5-minute on lower time frame. Sometimes I just draw a trend line for the break of the momentum on the 5-minute, and then I just take sales based off from that. Does not happen a lot. That's only downfall. I would probably say like once a week, once every 2 weeks maybe. But fam, when that thing hits, it hits. Okay, so it's probably one of my favorite setups. Just go back on my YouTube. You can see that one of my biggest trades on gold, that was that exact pattern, like to the T. And I mean, man, it hits. And that's one of my patterns. You need to find a pattern that works for you. Another pattern that I like, for example, on gold now, I know that I'm a big seller. Okay, so this will not work on gold, and this is just because I know myself, and I know my enemy in trading, and I know my strong points. With Euro USD, for example, that pattern will not work so well, because I've seen time and time again that I'm a big buyer with Euro USD. So with Euro USD, I love to take a green setup day, test of the low session, fake out during London session, test of the low, and then anticipating buys to the high of the day or the high of the previous day. So you need to find your strong points, you need to know your enemy, and then you find one pattern. That's your homework. I need you guys in the comments down below. I need everybody, if you watch this video, you need to comment down below, because remember, I'm keeping you guys accountable. And then I don't want to say this, but at the end of this bootcamp, there's going to be lots of prizes and giveaways. So I want to see the people who's actually here and participating. If you're shy, just do it, man. You can really just get something at the end of this bootcamp. But that's not the goal. The goal is for you to learn something. So I need you to share with me your favorite trade setup. Those two are my two favorite trade setups. And then with GBP USD, once again, I'm a big seller. So with GBP USD, I'm going to take a false break reversal high of the day sell setup with a break of structure on the 5-minute. That's why I always get questions like, MC, why did you do this on this pair but you did that on that pair? It's because I know myself in the different trading environments, which are the different pairs. And I want to conclude this video by saying, guys, I know you guys are probably tired. You guys feel like you've learned so much. But I also want to compliment you, yeah, for really just taking the time and out of your busy days, out of your busy schedules, to learn something. Once again, I don't really like talking about this or tooting my own horn, but if you really pay attention to this, folks, the drastic improvements on all areas in life, as my wish is, you guys have no idea how big the impact is going to be. So sit through it. If you're tired, just take a step back, take a breather, and then jump back in, because it's only going to be for your benefit and your family's benefit. We're trying to change generations over here. This is not just a Mickey Mouse YouTube video that you're going to release some endorphins just by watching it. My goal is to change generations, because I have so much confidence in what I say. I have so much confidence in my trading style and also the results that trading can produce. But that's enough of me, folks. This is about empowering you guys, and that's what it's always been about. So I really, really am super proud of you, man. Let's keep doing this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.